Respected viewers, brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, it's not a day where we discuss a topic. Today is the most tonight actually, not today. Tonight is the most depressing night on the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Tonight was the night when Zaynab alayhi salam got her last chance to bid her farewells to her brother. The last night where the family of Ahlul Bayt were together. The last night before the heads were separated from the bodies, the eve of Ashura. But what's so depressing about this night is Imam Hussein alayhi salam walking through the tents of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, through the tents of his wives, his sister Zaynab, his sons, and then the companions of Imam Hussein alayhi salam.
Like you said, Brother Ahmed, this is the night of mourning, the night of sadness. And with the permission of the Al-Bayt, I would like to say what lines of poetry which we would imagine Zaynab would have said to her brother, said to the night in regards to her brother.
Allah.
The poet says, "O night, lengthen your hours, O night, carry your sorrows. When I farewell my protectors, my enemies will take over my affairs." "O night, lengthen your hours, O night, carry your sorrows. When I farewell my protectors, my enemies will take over my affairs. O night, prolong the farewell, however long you may be. I will remain awake with you, I will not tire from crying. Even if my eyes go blind, this is Hussein's last night with me. Tomorrow my eyes will not see him. O night, have mercy on my heart. O night, my hopes have all been lost. Ah, how treacherous is life that now my enemies will take over my affairs."
يا ريتك تطول دهر، خايف من اشباح القدر، وخاف اظل مكسور خاطري. يا ليل ارحم دلالي، يا ليل ضاعت آمالي، يا ليل ارحم.
On this night, as I mentioned earlier, on this night, Imam Hussein alayhi salam was passing through the tents of his companions, of his family members, and he passed through the tent of Lady Zaynab alayhi salam. On this night, Lady Zaynab, actually she entered upon Imam Hussein alayhi salam, she entered his tent. She goes to him filled with grief, tears running down her cheeks. She says to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, "I beg you, through the right of the rib of our mother and her calamity, tell me, O sight of my eyes, don't hide your emotions from me, O Hussein." When Imam Hussein alayhi salam heard this from Lady Zaynab, he also began to cry. He tells her, "I'm afraid that the color of your face might change if I tell you what will happen tomorrow." He says to her, "O sister Zaynab, Tomorrow is the day where my head will be separated from my body. Tomorrow is the day where no one will have mercy upon the family of Muhammad, my grandfather. Tomorrow is the day where my child Ali al-Asghar will be speared. Tomorrow is the day where no one will help you get on the camel's back. Tomorrow, O Zaynab, is the day where Abbas will be gone, where Al-Akbar will be gone, Al-Qasim, everyone from my household, from my companions will depart with me, and I will be the last one to be killed in the worst of ways, to be remembered as the only martyr that was died in this manner. But Imam Hussein continues his mission between the tents. He reaches the tent of who? Of Al-Rabab, the mother of Ali al-Asghar, Abdullah al-Radi'. When he gets to the tent, he hears his wife putting his son al-Asghar while crying. She tells him, I have nothing to feed you. We have no water. 3 days, the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, on the eve of Ashura, the thirst was killing the family of al-Muhammad. On this night, when they all joined, Imam al-Hussein, he moved on from Rabab. He went where? He went to the tent of Ruqayya. When he got to the tent of Ruqayya, there's a special connection between Imam al-Hussein and his daughter Ruqayya. He walked by to check up on her. He didn't want to say anything. He didn't want to interrupt her and Sakina. But that strong connection between Ruqayya and Imam al-Hussein, Ruqayya left the tent. She came out, she saw her father. She says, "Oh father, who is greater, you or Ismail?" Imam al-Hussein says, "By Allah, Ismail, Ibrahim and the prophets were created through our Nur, Ahlul Bayt." She says, if Ismail was thirsty when he was young and his mother was thirsty, he hit the ground with his foot and water came out. Why are we thirsty, O father? If you are better than Ismail, why are we thirsty? Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, right away, he was holding a piece of wood with him to aid him walk around the tents, because the depression that was going through Imam Hussein alayhi salam was unbearable. He hit the stick on the ground, water began to come out. Ruqayya was shocked. She went to drink the water. Imam al-Hussein said to her, drink the water, but keep one thing in mind. If you drink this water, think of our Shia that will come after us. Because if you drink that water, they will be thirsty on the day of judgment. Keep that one thing in mind. Ruqayya dropped the water from her hand. She looked at her father. She says, "Oh father, let us die thirsty for our Shi'as to be quenched on the day of judgment." A 4 to 6 year old daughter of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, Ruqayya, leaving herself thirsty so we can stay quenched on the day of judgment. This is what was going on in the night of Muharram.
طولي ما واحد الشافه ولا ستير يوصل الستري لجن يا ليش بديه سلمت للقدر أمري دمعاتي يبسن بالجفين ومن يطور مصباح الحزين بأطفال وبعالم تحين والله والله ما ينحمل صبري يا ليل كافي تروعني يا ليل صبحك يفجعني يا ليل كافي تروعني يا ليل صبحك يفجعني لو نزلوا للميدان تتولاني.
Zaynab goes on speaking to the night. She says, "Oh night, I am Al-Aqila Zaynab, whose veil and hijab is famous. No one has seen me or even my shadow. And no veil is like my veil. But oh night, I submit my affairs to Allah. My tears have dried on my eyelids. I am tested by children and family. By Allah, my patience cannot be carried. O night, enough terrifying me. O night, your mourning will bring my calamity and tragedy. When I farewell my protectors, my enemies will take over my affairs."
بالقطط العيد للوداع الفاطمية ريتك تشاهد بناتك علي يا حامي الحميه يندبهن حسين اسمعن كلهن فريد فزعة فزعن ويا الولي يتوادعن وهاي روحه بلا يجيه نسوان ياهو اللي يحميهن لو راح عنهن واليهن نسوان ياهو اللي يحميهن لو راح عنهن واليهن يقبل البيبان تتولى للعدوان يا ليل طول ساعاتك يا ليل احمل آهاتك يا ليل طول ساعاتك يا ليل أحمل آهاتك لو ودعت الوليان تتولى للعدوان كلمة.
Respected viewers, brothers and sisters, once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The first part of today's episode was, it just makes the heart shudder of what happened to the Ahl Bayt alayhim salam on the eve of the 10th of Muharram. But people ask why we wear white on this night. We wear white on this night because tomorrow Imam Hussein did not have a kafan on the day of Ashura. We wear white to resemble that, oh Hussein, if Karbala came again and the tragedy of Karbala was to happen again, you will not have 72, only 72 individuals. Inshallah, you will have us amongst your 72.
And this is our kafan.
This is our
kafan. And we are willing to be there for Abu Abdul. Ya laytana kunna ma'ak is not just a phrase. It's something that it's an oath that we take, and it's an oath that all the Shia take when they say Ya laytana kunna ma'ak. This white isn't just, we're not just wearing white
For no
the sake
reason.
of it. It represents something deep. It represents that we are willing to sacrifice everything for Abu Abdullah. We are willing to sacrifice our blood for Abu Abdullah.
And it's amazing how some individuals, you know, they say that you wear white. They say وهذا يوما فرحت به آل زياد وآل مروان بقتلهم الحسين. Today is the day where Bani Ziyad, the family of Ziyad, the family of Marwan, were happy on this day. So how do you wear white? Doesn't white resemble, you know, someone being happy? Doesn't white resemble someone being, you know, not in a sorrowful mood? If we looked, you know, a couple of days ago we had the tragedy, or we honored Al-Qasim alayhi salam, and people mourn over him by wearing white. Is because Al-Qasim alayhi salam died without even getting married. He was, you know, he didn't taste the life of, you know, just he was 14 years old. You know, a person that so young, so beautiful at that age, yet he wasn't able to continue his life because some, I don't even want to go into a discussion, but you know, people that were so loved with this dunya that they couldn't let the house of Muhammad, the house of Ali, continue their line. We mourn over the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam because Lady Ruqayya did not drink water for us. People ask, did they think of us? Ruqayya thought of us. Ruqayya on the eve of Muharram did not drink water, so we Shia can not be thirsty on the Day of Judgment. When we think about that, shouldn't we honor these individuals? Shouldn't we mourn over them in every possible way? Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, he says, Man abka wa tabaka wujibat lahu jannah. Whoever cries, makes other cries, or just simply puts his hand and pretends like he's crying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will surely grant him paradise. And that's key.
That is very important, making the pretending to cry. People think it's usually a joke, or you know, you're making fun of what's happening. But when you are in that sorrowful state, or when you force yourself to be in that state, not only are you encouraging others to cry for Abu Abdullah, but you are creating the atmosphere of mourning for Abu Abdullah. It's a very important point to make.
Definitely. And there's a narration by Imam Rada alayhi salam, but we'll narrate it after this short break. So inshallah, stay tuned, for you'll be presented with the atmosphere of Karbala. I'm looking out the balcony out of the studio right now, and Karbala is packed on the eve of Ashura. It's packed. You legit can't walk in between the two holy shrines. It's like, you know, millions and millions of people are just flocking towards these two holy shrines. But I leave you with this report. We'll be back shortly.
Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Tonight is a night of sadness. Tonight is a night of mourning. Tonight is a night of Ashura. And the visitors have all morning. The skies will weep blood for the tragedy of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, for the blood that was shed. Behind me now are the students, the Muslim students from up and down Iraq. The group behind me is from Kirkuk, which is northern Iraq, and the group in front of them is Diyala. Now these cities are majority Sunni cities, or let's say a high mix in that city. So you don't see this often, groups from those cities coming out and mourning in Muharram. But these are students and they are more educated, so they are more open to the idea of what's happened in Karbala. So we welcome them, we welcome the Zuwar of Imam Hussein, and we thank them for their support, and we thank them for coming and mourning about Abdullah. These students are now entering the holy shrine of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. They are chanting the chants and announcing where they are from. They are saying, we are from this city. We come with pride, with honor. We come to you asking for forgiveness, asking for your help. This is about Abdullah. He unites the Mawakib and the people from all cities around the world, from all backgrounds. He unites them under one banner, the banner of Labbaika Ya Behind me now is the Mawkib, Najaf al-Ashraf. They are the servants from Najaf here to mourn about Abdullah. They do have their own Mawakib in Najaf, but at the same time they come and they offer respects in Karbala itself. There's a long-term bond between the Karbalais and Najafis when it comes to the service of Abu Abdullah. Here, as you can see, the path is being paved out by the Karbala'i servants for the Najafis, and they are welcoming them in. out in groups filled with hundreds and hundreds to honor Ashura, to honor Imam Hussein. They all call out in their individual groups, they all call out from the heart of Najaf, Labbaik ya Hussein. From the heart of Najaf, Labbaik ya Hussein. They are saying, we are the sons of Najaf, and we call out Labbaik ya Hussein. The whole city calls out Labbaik ya Hussein.
Respected viewers, brothers and sisters, once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You were just presented with live footages as well as a report done by my brother Hussein to show you Karbala right now and what's going on in Karbala. On the eve of Muharram, from the 9th up until the 1st, if we go backwards, from the 1st up until the 9th, Karbala is somewhat packed. But on the eve of Ashura, the ziyarah of Imam Hussein on the eve of Ashura, you can't imagine how highly recommended it is. So the lovers of Imam Hussein Islam are here to commemorate this very sorrow-filled Eid.
You could see the build-up throughout the days as well.
Definitely.
The new mawakib that come through, the new zawara that come through, slowly you see it building up, and now it's full. Karbala is full. That's all I can say.
It is. You cannot have a footstep.
You can't see the ground at any point.
You cannot. But I would like to talk about two companions of Imam Hussein alayhi salam on this eve. Habib ibn Mudahir and Muslim bin Awsaja. These two companions were very close. One was the memorizer of the Quran, a teacher and reciter of the Quran in Kufa, and so was Habib ibn Mudahir. Habib ibn Mudahir got a message that Imam Hussein has reached Karbala. Upon him leaving, he saw Muslim bin Awsaja in the streets of Kufa. He asked him what the purpose of him on the street. He says that I saw my lady Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam, and she told me to go and put henna on my head. So Habib Mudahir said to him, "O Muslim, this is not the intention of Fatima al-Zahra. The intention of Fatima al-Zahra is to spread over your head, not henna, but over your head with your own blood. Hussein has just reached Karbala, so let's go and join his army." When Habib Mudahir and Muslim bin Awsaja went and arrived at Karbala, the companions gathered around to greet these two companions. One sad thing that is narrated, although that everything in Karbala is sad, but from these two companions, when Muslim bin Awsaja fell on Ashura, Habib Mudahir rushed to him along with Imam Hussein and the companions. When he arrived, Habib put his hand on the heart of Muslim. He says, "O Muslim, tell me your will. What do you want to say before you pass away?" Muslim bin Awsaja said to Habib, he says, "Habib, do not lessen your support." And he pointed at Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He says, "This man will die in a few hours. He will be butchered in a few hours. Do not lessen your support to him." And he passed away. The special bond between Muslim bin Awsaja, Habib Mudahir, and the Ahlul Bayt are such a strong bond that when Habib Mudahir arrived at Karbala, Zaynab asked what the reason behind the loud noise that was going on in the tent of the companions. Al-Akbar told her that Habib ibn Mudahir and Muslim bin Awsaja had arrived in Karbala. She says, "O nephew, Al-Akbar, send my salams to Habib and Muslim bin Awsaja." When Habib Mudahir heard this, he began to pick up the sand and put it upon his head and saying, "Who am I? And what am I worth for Zaynab to send her salams?" These are the companions of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Brother Hussein, I don't know, which companion really inspires you on this eve?
I think inspires me and inspires millions, the companion would have to be Abbas.
Allah.
Because Abbas, yes, he gave his life for Abu Abdullah, but he went crazy. He says حب الحسين أجنني. My love for Abu Abdullah made me go crazy. And they say, the poet goes on to say, my insanity for Hussein is proof of my sanity.
Allah.
My insanity for Hussein is proof of my sanity. So my junoon, all this that I give to Imam Hussein just shows how aware I am of what the Ahlul Bayt and Allah has given us, of what sacrifices were made for us. And I'm sure you can hear the Ushaq,
Yes.
the lovers of Abu Abdullah, with the drums, they're getting ready to bid their farewells to the Imam, shouting Haidar, with their swords in the air. They are saying, we are ready to give our lives for you.
I would like to. I just heard a very beautiful line. They say, "O Zahra, قوم إلى الطفوف." O Zahra, rise to Al-Taf. For Karbala tomorrow on Hussein, the sword will bash into his body. And they keep on yelling Haidar, Haidar up until the morning, where they mourn Imam al-Hussein the most. The 10th of Muharram, people wonder why the Shia go insane on 10th of Muharram. The 10th of Muharram, it wasn't us. It was Abbas that went insane on 10th of Muharram. It was the Ahlul Bayt that went insane on 10th of Muharram. It was Al-Akbar, the one who on the day of Ashura, he told his father, "Oh Hussein, I am so thirsty. Oh Father Hussein, I'm thirsty." He says, "Oh son, get closer to me." As he got closer, he touched the tongue of Imam al-Hussein and he found it solider than wood. Imam Hussein said to his son Ali al-Akbar, "Oh son, today is the day where you'll be quenched, your thirst will be quenched by your grandfather Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam." But according to the atmosphere, this night is dedicated to who? This night is dedicated to Al-Asghar. Every night is dedicated to a certain individual, and tonight Al-Asghar, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, on the day of Ashura, no one is there. Al-Abbas is gone, Al-Akbar is gone, the companions, Al-Qasim, his nephews, everybody is gone. Rabab brings the fainted child of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam to Imam al-Hussein. She says, "Can you please ask water for this little child?" Imam al-Hussein takes the child to the enemies. He says, "I understand that you want to kill me, but what has this little child done?
What sin has he committed?
What sin has he committed?" Imam al-Hussein calls again, the same call. No one answers. The third time, he says, "I'm going to leave the child on the ground and you come and give him water. If you're afraid that I will drink the water, you feed him, you quench his thirst." Umar bin Sa'ad, may Allah's curse and damnations be upon him, he asked Harmala. He says, "Oh Harmala, اقطع نزاع القوم." "Oh Harmala, break the argument of the army."
There was a dispute.
There was a dispute. Some were saying, "Quench the thirst, he's just a little boy." And others were saying, "No, لا تبقوا لهذا البيت من باقية." Do not leave a single individual alive from this household.
How is that even disputed? I don't understand. In what world would you dispute a dying baby? A baby dying from thirst. In what world?
I mean, now if someone slaps a child, they call it child abuse. On the day of Ashura, I don't understand. The people who know about human rights and what was going on and what's going on right now against humanity, do they realize what went on the day of Ashura? He said, People were saying, quench the thirst. People were saying, لا تبقوا لهذا البيت من باقي. Do not leave a single individual of this household alive. That's how much they hated the enemy, the Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam. So Umar bin Sa'ad tells Harmala, he says, Harmala اقطع نزاع القوم. Break the arguments of the army. He says, what do? He says, throw an arrow at that little baby. An arrow at that little baby. Harmala picks up a 3-headed arrow. At that moment, Harmala was looking for a place to hit the baby. It was as big as the Imam's hands. A 6-month-old baby, how big can he be? So all of a sudden the wind blew by and hit the baby's neck. Abdullah al-Asghar's neck was a pier. And he threw the arrow at the neck of al-Asghar. When it was time to take revenge for the Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam after Ashura, Al-Mukhtar al-Thaqafi caught Harmala. He asked him, O la'een, O cursed, didn't the action that you did of killing Abdullah al-Asghar, didn't that break your heart? He says, never. But only one thing broke my heart, is that when I threw the arrow at Ali al-Asghar, he was wrapped with cloth. I saw his hands, due to the heat of the arrow, he took his hands out of the wrap and he held his father, the hand of his father, Hussein alayhi salam. He says, only that broke my heart, and nothing broke my heart on the day of Ashura. Such individuals that butcher a little child. According to one narration, Ali al-Asghar was not the only small child in Karbala. There was one narration that broke the heart of even the enemies. There was one child that Imam Hussein alayhi salam buried behind the tents on the eve of Ashura. He died out of thirst. One of the enemies saw Imam Hussein digging something behind the tents. After everyone in Karbala has been martyred and they had cut the heads off from the bodies, everyone that's holding a head will get a reward. So this person doesn't have a head with an empty spear. So he thought to himself, what was Imam Hussein digging behind the tents? He goes and he finds, he digs whatever Imam Hussein dug, and he finds a child of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, days old, months old. He cuts his head off and he puts it on the spear and he takes it to Kufa. What individuals do such hate? Why possess so much hate to the Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam? The last story I would like to mention is the story of Ali al-Akbar, the last son of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, the oldest son of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. When it was time for Ali al-Akbar to go and fight, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam stood at the tent of his mother Rabab. He would always look, he was looking to how Ali Akbar was fighting. So as long as Ali Akbar was killing the enemies and he was free, no one was surrounding him, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam was smiling. But the enemy surrounded Ali al-Akbar. His face suddenly changed. Rabab was looking at the face. She couldn't watch the battle. So she was watching the reaction of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Whenever Imam Hussein was smiling, Rabab was satisfied. She was calm. But when the face of Imam Hussein alayhi salam changed, Rabab was worried. She says, "Oh Hussein, what's going on?" He says, "The enemies have surrounded Ali al-Akbar." What really breaks my heart is a traditional horse will really bring, if a person died on that horse, it will bring it back to its companions. to where that person used to sleep, used to live. But Ali al-Akbar, when he was struck on the head, he fell on top of the horse, on the horse's head, and the horse could not see where to go. So where did he take him? He took Ali al-Akbar to the enemy's lines. Did they have mercy on this little child? No. They began to butcher him. They began to cut him up into pieces. And the last breaths that he breathed, they were just, Assalamu alayka, O Abata, peace be upon you, O my father. It was when Imam Hussein was just about to reach Ali al-Akbar. Every time they would pick up a body part, the other body part would fall off. I mean, to continue narrating what happened on the day of Ashura is something, for me, every time the day of Ashura, when 10th of Muharram comes, and the maqtal, where the full story of what happened on the day of Ashura, when it comes to these individuals, people begin to lose their minds of what happened on the day of Ashura. But Brother Hussein, I would like to leave you with the last words of tonight, because I really cannot continue to say what happened on the day of Ashura.
What happened on Ashura can only be narrated on Ashura, because if we narrate it now, people will lose their minds, like the Khaddam of Imam Hussein, the mourners of Imam Hussein now. You can hear them now sending the salute, entering the shrine of Abu Fadl. They will call out, Ya Hussein. You can hear them now. And the maqtal, I cannot read it. My heart can't allow me to read it on this day. It can only be read on Ashura, because that's the day for Junoon. Tomorrow is the day where everyone loses their mind over what happened in Karbala.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Respected viewers, brothers and sisters, the last thing I would like to say is, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give patience to the Imam of our time, Imam Mahdi, may Allah hasten his reappearance. And the last words I would like to say is, Allahumma ishfi sadr al-Hussein, bihaqq al-Hussein, bidhuhur al-Hujjah. Oh Allah, heal the pain that's within the heart of Imam al-Hussein through the reappearance of Imam al-Mahdi. So I would like to leave you with the atmosphere of Karbala. Thank you once again. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.